Welcome to the Red Wagon Estate Planning and Elder Law Show, hosted by me, yours truly, Jeffrey Belomo, where we discuss all things estate planning and elder law, and, well, hey, anything else we want to talk about. Now, on today's episode, we are going to be talking to my friend Jen Clemens, and we are going to be discussing a little bit about real estate. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I have no doubt about it. Jen, how you doing today?
Good. I'm fabulous. How are you?
Awesome. Doing great. Thank you very much for being here. I'm excited for this one. When I saw it on the calendar, I was like, oh, this will be awesome. So we'll definitely have a lot of fun today. But before we get into the fun, as I always do, I have to just do a little disclaimer. Please do not take what you hear from this show or any other show for that matter to constitute legal advice. If you are looking for legal advice, please contact an attorney licensed in the state that you reside in who practices in the area of law that you are looking for advice in. After you meet with them and you get advice pertaining to your specific fact pattern, then and only then should you constitute that as legal advice. This show and any other show should be looked at for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. And yeah, we may talk a little bit about stuff, but not legal advice today, just a little bit of fun. At Belomo and Associates, we educate so that what happened to my family does not happen to yours. We offer free workshops in the area of pre-planning in the estate planning context. We do Medicaid crisis workshops. We do life care planning workshops, as well as special needs and post-death administration. So if you're looking for information and education in regards to the estate planning and elder law topics, please give us a call at 717-845-5390 or check us out on the web at www.belomoassociates.com. That's B as in boy, ELLOMO, associates spelled out with an S.com. Man, I couldn't come up with a shorter name, right? Jeez. So give us a call, find us on the web. We have regularly scheduled workshops, and we would love to provide the information to you so that you can decide pros, cons, goods, bads, uglies, and when you're ready, we would certainly be honored to assist you with any type of planning that you may have. So, all right, so Jen, tell my listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do for a living.
Sure. My name is Jen Clemens. I am a realtor in Pennsylvania and Maryland, and I am the co-team lead for a team. There's 7 of us, and we are based in York. Our office, we have a brand new office, which is on your way downtown, right across from the Rev Stadium. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And so it's very well located for anybody in York County, but also if you're out of the county. We service, like I said, Maryland. We go to York, Adams, Lancaster, Dauphin. We have 7 agents, so we kind of go all over the place. And we do everything with regards to real estate that you can just imagine. We also have a Spanish-speaking agent as well. So anybody that speaks Spanish, Angelica's amazing, and we help anybody that wants to buy, sell, invest, anything from $15,000 to $50 million. So, wow. And anywhere in between. We don't discriminate on anything.
That's incredible.
Yeah, my team is absolutely amazing. I started about 7 years ago.
Okay.
And we started our team about 1.5 years ago. I was an independent agent for the first portion, I guess I would say. In my previous life, I was a manager of a really popular jewelry store for 17 years. I used to sell lots of diamonds and pretty things. So my jewelry box is crazy. But I really liked, just helping people with a huge purchase. And this is, even bigger purchase, But I also really so back in the jewelry days, people came to see me if it was like a wedding or an engagement or something, babies right. and celebrations and things like that. And so I really like to help people in transitions, so big transitions, moving, downsizing, upgrading, like whatever, is even more exciting. So I just love being part of that. And I get into it so much, they end up being kind of like my family. So
Aww. Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, being in the jewelry industry, certainly you have a lot of talents and can do a lot of different things. I mean, that's definitely not the easiest sell in the world. And so being able to do that is incredible. Why the transition to real estate? I mean, what was the reason that you chose real estate? I mean, you could probably sell just about anything and you landed on real estate. I'm just curious.
Retail was rough,
Oh,
Jeff.
okay.
Like
I didn't
retail
realize that.
hours, like so as a manager, like I mean, we worked 60 hours a week and 80 in at Christmas.
Ooh.
And so I remember back, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I said, when we start opening on Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love to eat all the things, right?
Aw.
And so when we start opening on Thanksgiving, I can't do this anymore. I
Oh,
just can't do it.
wow.
And so that started happening, because Black Friday got backed out, to like Thanksgiving. Oh, we're going to open on Thanksgiving at like 5 p.m. or whatever. And that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's
Oh
back.
my gosh.
So, I
That's
mean,
so
I work
cool.
probably the same amount of hours now. I
Yeah.
work every day, all day, all night and whatever. But it's a little bit easier to make your own hours and not have to be at a store and, in the mall and, that kind of stuff too. So that retail was rough.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it makes complete sense now that you say that. I certainly wasn't thinking that. That's incredible.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
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 Very cool. So when you in the real estate market, like what's your favorite type of person to work with? Like when you finish a matter or you finish a closing, what do you think back on and go, "Oh man, that was great. I love them." What is it?
I have two,
All
actually.
right. Cool.
First time home buyers are
Ah.
amazing. Like the fact that somebody has worked so hard and saved money and done all of the right things to be able to purchase a home and be a homeowner and start that equity and start to build their life. That is such a gratifying thing to buy your first house, and to be a part of that is I get goosebumps just talking about it. It's
Oh.
absolutely amazing. So I love first time home buyers. But then I also like the complete other end of the spectrum. So, like, for instance, I worked with some of your clients recently, and they were ready to move on into the next stage of their life into an assisted living facility, into an apartment there. And so they had lived in their house for 30 some years, and they were like the most sweet, adorable people. And just hearing their stories and meeting their family and all the things and their stories of just years and years, I would just sit there for hours and listen to their stories. And that's that's so meaningful. And to be able to be a part of that as well, to get them, that's a lot of work to get when you've lived in a house for 30 years
Yeah.
to downsize to an apartment, and all the things to help them do that. But it's very, once they're at the point where they can just relax, and they're in the apartment, they don't have to shovel snow, they don't have to mow grass, they don't have to take care of the house anymore. That's just very satisfying as well. So those are like my two favorites, I guess.
All right, so I have a naive question.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you've been in a house for 30 some years, there's a lot of clutter sometimes, a lot of maybe need to purge. I'm trying to think of the politically correct
Oh
way
my
to
gosh,
say this.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even fix up the house a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe some cleanup, maybe some modernization. Do you have contacts for that? Do you guys do that? How does that work?
I always say I got a guy for everything.
Yeah,
I got a guy
kind of
for
figured that's what you were going to say.
you and I network a lot,
Yeah.
right? And I network even more than you do probably.
Yeah.
And I just know probably like 3 people that I can call for everything. So like if this guy's busy, I got another one lined up. And I always pick people that I know and that I've got to know and that have done things before with them. And so basically anytime anybody needs anything, they just call or text me and I'm like, yeah, I got a guy for that. Here you go. Here we go.
Right.
Here we go.
That's sort of what I figured you were going to say. But I was just curious. How does,
Yeah.
what is the conversations that you end up having with a homeowner? Been there 30 some years, maybe last time they did a thing to the house was 25 years ago. knowing that they're moving on, transitioning out, how do you have that conversation with them about whether to do work, whether not to, sell as is? Like, how does that work?
Well, it really depends on a couple things. How much do they want slash need to get out of their house
Okay.
monetarily? Obviously, money is a big thing, right? So if you need to move on, you're going to need a certain amount of money. And so we have to figure out if we sell it for this, how much you're going to get, how much do you need? And walking around the house, looking at different things, we can kind of figure out how much it would be for this and this and this. Is it worth it? Is your return of value going to be worth it to do it? So really we have to weigh out each and everything and say, okay, if I get a guy in here, it's going to cost this much. Is it going to get you this much more? Or are we just going to let it like this and disclose it and say, okay, we know this is wrong, but we're selling it just as it is and probably a little bit lower price. So, we really have to just weigh all the pros and cons and what's important to that person, and like, do we have a timeline? That's another thing too. Like, how fast do we have to do this? Like, do you need to move like right now, or do we
Yeah.
have a couple months to get ready? So each and every person has individual needs that we have to, figure out for them.
So if
So,
they did need out quickly, like just for whatever reason, I can think of a couple on our end.
uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Do you work with flippers? Do you work with people who will just buy it as is and then fix it up and
Yeah.
sell, or do you typically just sell it as it is and just go in the
Um,
market?
a little bit of both.
Okay,
Honestly, it really, again, it depends on the person,
sweet.
and how quickly and what they need and how much there is to go into it. So we, we just evaluate it accordingly, I would say.
Sweet.
But yeah, I mean, however you need it is how we're going to do it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I know you had just because I love to talk about personal stuff too, I know you had an incredible weekend, and we were
Yeah.
just talking before we got on the podcast, and I mean, not names or anything, but just share your exciting news because I think it's just awesome.
Yeah, my son just got married.
That is so cool.
He So they met about 4 years ago, and it's funny because they love to tell their story because they met on one of these dating apps. These kids do this, right? And so my son was actually chasing after her for a year before she agreed to go out with him at all.
Well, that's a long chase.
It was.
I don't know if I have that in me.
I know, right? And so she finally said yes, and then it just exploded from there, and we just love her, and we're a lot alike, and we're all just best friends hanging out and doing stuff. And he's actually his 30th birthday is on Saturday, so he just got married last Saturday. Now his 30th birthday is this Saturday, so we're going to surprise him and have a surprise birthday party for him. But they are just the cutest, sweetest couple, and just beautiful, and it was just the most beautiful day. Saturday was the perfect weather, and yeah, it was phenomenal.
Oh, that's amazing.
And
And don't worry, this podcast won't be published until long after next weekend before the surprise party. So, yeah, I promise. There's a lot of editing and things, so we're good.
Whoops.
No, it's all good. So I know the answer to this, but how did we meet? How did you kind of get introduced to Bilomo? How did we become so close and work so closely together?
So Jess Delp is one of my very good friends. She's one of my very best friends. And I met her networking many years ago. And if you know her, you know how amazing she is.
Yep.
And we just instantly hit it off. We both are a little bit crazy. And, we
Use
network.
crazy. I don't think that's a word I would use for either of you, but go ahead.
We're a little out there. We both just know tons of people out in York County, basically, both of us. And so it was inevitable we were going to meet and just hit it off. And we just do everything together, and we know tons and tons of people, the same people, so our network is very, very similar. And so like if she needs somebody for something, or if I need somebody for something, one of us knows at least two or three people for something. And so we're actually going to an event today. We're in three networking groups together, but then also some separate. And so when she started working for you, she's like, oh my gosh, she just absolutely adores you. Like I can't even tell you how much she loves you. And everything that you do there is so important. And so she's like, you have to come and get to know these people and know what they do. And I was able to be at speak at one of your Red Wagon meetings about downsizing and things like that. And so I'm just very grateful to have her in my life. She's amazing, and she let me meet you and all the people that you work with. And yeah.
And to my loyal listeners, one of the recent podcasts that was published was with Jess. She had been with us for 3 years, and we announced that was probably the single hardest podcast that I've ever done, Jen. Was when we talked about Jess coming and saying, I've done everything, we've branded, we've done everything we can, and it's time to kind of move on to the next venture. And York County Economic Alliance is where she landed, which I'm so excited for her. But
I can't think of anybody else in York County that is better for that position for the YCEA.
I agree with you.
She was meant for that position.
I agree with you. When we were talking, when she originally asked me to help her find a new bus and stuff, and I was saying, well, what are you looking at? What's out there? As soon as she said that one, I was like, oh, wait, time out. Hold on. That is perfection for you. Like, there's no doubt. But, you don't generally cry on podcasts. And that was a hard one, and it always will be. She will always be one of my best friends, and just an incredible person, and did so much for us. And, we wouldn't be where we are without her, and she knows that. I love her with all my heart. And but yeah, that podcast was a rough one, and I didn't necessarily expect it to be, but emotions just take over. So I'm really glad that worked out. And and certainly we love working with you and your team. And just so I don't forget, because sometimes I do, can you tell the listeners how they could locate you and find information and ways to contact you? Because I often forget that, and I don't want to forget that.
So, if you go on the internet and you just search me, you're going to find me. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, obviously, all the socials. We have websites everywhere. Literally, if you search Jen Clemens Realtor, you're going to find me and my team. My team's name actually is Clemens and Myers Real Estate Team. So, nice. That's, search that too. But if you just go on Facebook, usually it's where we're at the most. We do a lot of TikToks now, actually. So we do some fun videos that we do on TikTok, and then we put it on all of our socials. Some funny, some serious, some educational, some not so much, just kind of like fun. But we're just kind of everywhere. And
wow, I have to look at the TikTok videos. I don't know that I've ever seen the TikTok videos. I'm going to have to look at those.
Oh my gosh, Jeff. Oh my gosh. We've done some really funny ones lately that I think you're going to love.
Oh, that's cool. Are they published, the ones that you're thinking of? Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah, we try to do one a week to try to stay up with the kids on TikTok. You know how that is.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of that stuff, man, I'm not as good at. There's no doubt. Like I do some things well, and there's some things I have to work on, and that's one of them.
Well, so we're good at doing the videos, but actually doing all of the behind the scenes stuff. We actually had right now, he's almost done. We have a senior in high school. He's our intern, and we've had him for a few months, and he's amazing, and he helps us with all of those things. And we're going to be so sad to see him leave. He's just helped us tremendously. So we hope we get another intern that can continue to help us with this stuff. So if anybody has any high school seniors that need to intern and you're interested in real estate, reach out. We'd love to have them. They get credit in school for this, and
wow,
all that good stuff.
That's amazing.
So we were so lucky to have him. He's almost done with that though. So, oof.
Oh. So how'd you end up in the York County area? I don't know the
I've
answer to
been
that.
born and
Born and
raised
raised?
here. I literally live in the same neighborhood that I've always lived in.
No
This is
way.
the third house, yeah, in Pleasureville. So we're near Central High School.
Yes.
Lived in Pleasureville my whole life, and my partner also born and raised in York County. So we have lived here our whole lives. We know everything about it. We are definitely the experts here,
Oh,
and a lot of our team as well. So we just anything you need, restaurants, I don't know, we'll tell you what's good, what's
yeah.
bad, what's not, all the
Yeah.
things.
And was Maryland the addition over to Maryland more just a locational geographic thing?
Yes,
Okay.
well, yes. And so there are so many people that work in Maryland, specifically like the Baltimore area, that
Got
actually
it.
live here because we're right over the line, and a lot of the prices and the taxes are so much cheaper. The cost of living is so much cheaper in Pennsylvania. Um, but also, I do have, so my goal was to have a beach house. And so I actually, a couple years ago, I was able to purchase a beach house in Fenwick Island, Delaware. And so that's right on the border of Maryland as well. And so we drive right through Maryland to get there. So I'm kind of the beach person. So when somebody's looking for a beach house, I'm all over it. I'm down there. I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, Jeff, I'll look
Oh,
you up.
wow. That sounds
Maryland or
so
Delaware.
cool.
Yes, and so that's kind of like my area to go down into Maryland, and I'll have my Delaware license soon. So
Oh, is
my
there like a process that you have to go through for that? Is that okay?
yes, Maryland is reciprocal to Pennsylvania and vice versa. So if you have one or the other, you can get the other very easily. However, Delaware, you have to go through all of the training, all of the testing, all of the everything again to get your Delaware because it's very different than Pennsylvania. Maryland is
Okay.
very different as well. They don't have townships down there. They have counties, and then it's just a whole different ball game. In every state, I'm sure it's like that, but yeah,
So for us, it's kind of similar, right? We're licensed in the state of Pennsylvania, and then there's some states that have reciprocity, some states that don't, and of course the
correct.
ones that I was looking at originally, of course they don't. So you'd have to take the bar exam, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if at
Yeah,
this point I want
yeah,
to do that, but
yeah. So yeah, it's a
that,
process, that's for sure.
that's awesome. Very cool. All right, well, very good. All right, I'll ask you the $1 million question. And before I even ask the $1 million question, I want to remind listeners that markets go up, markets go down. They're all different. They all respond differently depending on so many factors. But I just do love to kind of say, you know, what's the market like right now? Like as we sit here today, what are you seeing?
Yeah, every day if you ask me, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
And right now it's just wild.
Okay.
Um, and by wild, I mean up and down, up and down. Every day, every week, every month is different. If you ask a realtor, they'll hopefully tell you the same thing. I want to, if you don't mind, I just want to say some stats for York County that I
Sure.
have pulled
Yeah.
up
If you have
here.
them pulled up, look at you.
Yeah, so the median sold price year to date right now is almost $276,000.
Okay.
Last year it was 265. So it's about up about 4%. So I'm hoping people know that when you buy real estate, it's always going to increase. Your equity is always going to increase. And so a lot of people, a lot of buyers, they think, oh, we're going to wait until, I don't know what they want to wait for something, maybe rates to go down or something like that. Right now, actually, we're right around 7, which is the median. I mean, it's a great time to buy. It's a great time to sell also. But if you wait, house prices are only going to go up, right?
Yep.
So I would say the best time to buy is when you're ready to buy.
Ah, very nice.
And also, so as far as the rates go, basically you want to marry the house and date the rate because you can always refinance, right? Like if the rates go back down in the 4s and 5s, great, you refinance. But at least you have your house and you have, somewhere to live and you're still increasing your equity and your value in your house. So it's technically still a seller's market right now because we only have 1.5 months of inventory.
Oh,
So it has to be much more than that to be a buyer's market. But we do have a lot of listings because it's spring, so people are finally getting their houses on the market and things like that. Right now, sold is 7 days on market. So
wow.
some sell faster, some sell slower. It really depends on the price. It depends on the condition. It depends on a lot of different things. But percentage of list price received is 100%. So realtors are doing a really good job in pricing at fair market value. And so we still have a lot of competition. And so there's a lot of bidding wars still, multiple offers, things like that. So that's kind of why it's still a seller's market. So if somebody is ready to sell, it's a great time to sell, no matter the condition. As long as it's priced right, it will sell like that. If you overprice it, however, it's going to sit and sit and sit, and then you're going to have to lower the price. So, most sellers, I mean, I'm a homeowner, you're a homeowner. So a lot of people say, we put a lot of money into this, a lot of love into this house, and we always think our house is worth more than what it really is.
Of course.
The person that's going to determine what your house is worth is a buyer.
Yeah.
So a buyer is going to pay what they think a house is worth, right? And so if you're kind of skewed and think your house is worth way more, it's just going to sit, and then people are going to wonder, what's wrong with it? Why is it still sitting there?
Wow.
So overpricing is not a good thing. Underpricing is also not a good thing because you're going to lose money. So we don't want you as a seller to lose any money. My goal is to make you as much money as possible in as least amount of time as possible.
Right.
That's always our goal. And so, through our training, and we have to constantly go through continuing education. I don't know if people know that, but we do.
Mm-hmm.
And so we pretty much know what we're doing. And so when we come to you with a price, we've done a lot of research, we've done our homework, we've done all the things. And so this is what we really think that we could list it and sell it for. And we go through a lot of training that appraisers go through. And so more than likely, when you sell your house, unless it's cash, an appraiser is going to come in and they're going to say, this is what we think your house is valued at. And according to that appraiser, that's gospel. If you're getting a loan to buy this house for this amount of money, the appraiser says, okay, this is what you're going to get your loan for, and that's that.
Yeah.
And so we have to work from there.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
that's where negotiations come in. That's part of what we do as well. I have a list of 176 things that we do as realtors.
170. Holy cow.
So if anybody wants that, I'll send it to you so you know what we do
Cow.
and how we
That's
get
amazing.
paid. A lot of people don't know how realtors get paid.
Oh, wow.
Do you know how we get paid by any chance?
I just assumed, the buyer and the seller each get a piece. The realtors each get a commission on their ability to help you sell and buy the house.
You're right. You're
Okay.
right. It's a little bit more detailed than that.
Okay.
Did you want me to just explain it so that way I can explain
Sure.
it to people?
Please do. Yeah.
So realtors get paid at settlement. They get
Right.
commission. And there's also something called a broker fee as well. So we, as realtors, we have to hang our license with a broker.
Yep.
So the broker always has a fee. And that fee is for all the back end stuff. As an attorney, you know that what we deal with is legal documents.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a whole team behind us to make sure that all the documents are correct and everybody's signing everything. All the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, right? And so we want to protect everybody. Nobody wants to get sued. Everybody wants to be good. And so that broker fee is really what makes sure on the back end that everybody has everything done correctly. So that's what the broker fee is for. The commission is for us and all the work that we do. And so when somebody goes to sell a house, when they talk to the realtor, they discuss commissions, and commissions are always negotiable. And we have to really show you our value and what we do for the money that we make. And we determine at that time how much commission I'm going to get to sell your house. And then also, are you willing as the seller to pay any of the commission for the buyer's agent that's going to bring you the buyer to buy your house?
Right.
That could be a yes, could be a no. We discuss all of those things.
Wow.
And so is the seller going to pay the buyer's agent commission, or do the buyers have to pay their agent commission? So there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of different ways that we get paid, and all that is negotiated between all of the different parties.
That's incredible.
So it's not a cut and dry thing, and it's a little bit complicated, and it's all kind of has to be worked out ahead of time. And if your realtor is not explaining all of it to you and giving you options and going over all of it, you need to find a new realtor. I work with a lot of people, unfortunately, specifically buyers. We have a buyer consultation with my buyers. I always sit down with them because they don't know how the process works. I don't expect them to. So we go over all of the things. So that way everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what we're doing. Everybody knows the expectations, and they know how we get paid as well. A lot of realtors, just kind of skip that part, and that is to their detriment. But everybody, just kind of needs to know what's happening,
Jen, thank you. I am so sorry. I knew it. I knew when you and I got on this it was going to fly by.
It's fine. You're fine.
Please, if anybody wants to get more information about that, please reach out to Jen Clemens with the Clemens Myers team. She's an incredible person. I have loved getting to know her and working with her and her team and our clients, and could not say enough wonderful things. To my listeners, thank you for being so loyal. Thank you for listening to our podcast. And Jen, thank you again. So thanks everyone for being here today at the Red Wagon Estate Planning and Elder Law Show. And until next time, we'll see you real soon.